All right, we are back. Okay. So, who has something they want to do?
I do.
Okay.
Especially because in time frame, it should have been a little bit ago with how the scene was progressing downstairs.
So what's up?
Well, first things first, we need to resolve things with Takuma here, with Pitchfork. And the way I see it, I think they're basically cockpit to cockpit at this point. And since both are open air, it's like I see this shot where like they've kind of actually abstracted some elements of the mechs away. So you just have like this framing where you've got each of the pilots in the center screen, and then you've got their mechs kind of framing them.
I mean, I don't think either cockpit was originally open air.
No, no,
Yeah.
they're not.
Yeah, okay, so they're framed
And-
by their cockpits.
Scarecrow's just giving Pitchfork like not the eye, but like a look over, just trying to see how badly she's hurt. And I think there's two ways I can do this, because I think I'm just gonna ask her, because I think she's a she's a soldier. She should know her own capability, and she's just gonna say, "You know when I said that I was kidding, right? Are you stable?"
Who knows? Go help them.
All right. Don't you fucking dare die after that.
You are the last person who gets a say in that.
And okay, stay down, you fucking Terminator bitch. And she runs the Karasu down the ramp, down the fucking spiral.
Fucking promises.
And I think on the way down, because I don't think she's like, rushing to be there on time because of the way the scene has progressed, but she has time to like just like dictate a little message to her current proxy and stuff. It says like, in the event that I die, please relay this message to Pitchfork. I'm sorry about Hannah. That's we get. So now I'm heading downstairs.
Okay. So Dredge, you get off the radio, and you can hear the loud thump, thump, thump of an AV coming down the spiral. You can also...
It probably makes sense to radio the team be en route.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, cool. Chill.
En route, she's alive. Those are the 4 words you get.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to Tower, and I'm gonna declare the bandolier for some chemicals.
How much load do you have left at this point?
I went in with 6 for heavy. I have spent 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 2 left.
Okay.
That's documents, place explosives, long-range transmitter, and remote vehicle control. So, I'm gonna grab that bandolier. There is a thing in the chemicals thing, which is, where is it? Become imbued with a mild electrical charge and a feeling of vigor. And I'm gonna use that with Doctor to bring Tower out of it.
What do you want to roll?
Engineer. I'd rather not roll it, but I'll okay.
I mean, Tower... You are a doctor, or at least you have been trained in, medical knowledge. You can tell that Tower is all kinds of fucked up. And so, like, basically giving Tower electrical cocaine, it could theoretically kill them. Right?
Electrical Cocaine is the name of my disco album.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna risk that. Never mind.
So I'm sorry, but like that's a reality.
Fiction first gaming, y'all.
Okay. Then I'm gonna, Alright. Gonna look at the consoles then.
Okay.
Can I tell what's going on?
Yeah, what you see is that okay, give me a fortune roll. What do you want to roll for this?
Call that an interface, why not?
Okay.
I mean, engineer's a smart thing, but I'm not gonna keep doing that. It's a fortune roll, so that's just one die, please. That's a 6.
That's a 6. That's good info. All right. I didn't realize you had any in interface. Okay, so what you are able to tell is that the Sovereignty Engine is primed and ready to go. The Shadesphere squad, they'd powered it up and they were going to test it by just like moving something in space. You can see that they were planning on like launching a fairly large object, probably, I guess, not large in the grand scheme of things, but something about the size of a fridge. They were going to launch that at a DFS like frigate, just to test out the system. And then the assault started, and so you're like running through the logs of the controls, and you can see that they recalibrated, and they were planning on trying to hit ground-based targets with the Sovereignty Engine, like your attack force. They were going to try and hit those. You can even see one where like they were specifically going to try and hit Starfall with something. The others are just sort of like aimed generally at the other squads. But that was the last calculations that they had set up and were planned. So currently the Sovereignty Engine is aimed at Journey City.
Okay. I would like to clear those coordinates.
Okay.
Just run a magnet over it.
What do you want to roll for this?
Well, I was doing that earlier and it didn't do anything, so, well, I'm gonna push myself because it's gonna be with technical skill and, well, not handling chemicals, but certainly technical skill.
Yeah, use that fortitude.
Hell yeah. And I guess it's another interface?
Okay.
If I argued for engineer, what would it be?
I think either way,
Well,
either way, it's risky standard,
Okay.
but the consequences would be different.
Can I get more detail than that?
I mean, if you're engineering, you're like going into the guts of these consoles, right? And you're like changing the hard wiring of this stuff. So like you slip up with that, and actually, now that I say it, it's probably different positions. I think interface would be actually controlled standard, and engineering would be risky standard.
Okay. I'll
I would like
take
to clarify one thing, though.
What's that?
The Sovereignty Engine is primed, but it hasn't fired, correct?
Yep.
So technically, wouldn't we be achieving our objectives if we just wreck the control room now?
Well, we were doing that just regularly, and that was ticking an impact clock. So I suspect, I suspect not.
Yeah, it seems like we need to like.
Yeah,
Actually-
I don't understand what the impact clock is. That's the only thing, because my impression was that something had been set in motion that we had to stop using it, and now I don't know. So the abstraction is not working for me right now.
The impact clock is for something like if that fills, something is going to hit Journey City.
Okay.
Because as I said, it was last aimed here. It's like the revolver is already aimed and cocked, and if someone drops it, it could go off.
The barrel
Okay,
of
cool.
the gun is in our face, and
Okay, cool.
we're.
Okay, we need to engage the safety before we trash the gun. Okay, cool. Metaphor works for me now.
Okay, I'm
Because
gonna.
when you're talking like this weird Newtonian physics WMD, like I take it kind of literally. It's just like, well, nothing's doing. Like we could just kill it. It's fine.
Controlled standard, you said?
If you're using interface.
Okay, I am. And I've pushed myself to get that extra die. That's a 5.
That's a 5.
It's a whole ass 5. Hell yeah.
Okay. So, the consequence. Remember, you can decide not to take the consequence. Or. Well, not. You can choose with a controlled position. You can choose not to take the success, but also avoid the consequence. Right?
No, I'm gonna take a sure thing. I'll take a consequence, thanks.
Okay. All right.
No.
So, in that case, I am going to erase 2 ticks from the impact clock. Oh, that's the wrong direction. So it is not. The clock is not gone. To be clear, like the gun is still loaded, but you have put a pause on it. Yeah, you've uncocked the hammer. That's a good way of putting it. And then there is an explosion that cuts the magpie in half.
Okay, I have a question for
Yeah?
logistics of this. Because we've said there's 2 doors to this room, and have you said that they're coming from both sides?
At this point, no.
Okay, so they're coming from the side that opposite the side I am coming from.
You're coming from the ceiling.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the magpie's basically. I mean, the magpie's got a flexible structure. So if any Avi can survive getting blown in half, it's the magpie. But that is what happens to it as Shadespeare rushes in after that breaching charge. And now you are in a desperate position, Dredge and Tower, when you wake up. So Scarecrow, I think you arrive at this point. You hear like the loud bang of a breaching charge. You're in the ceiling.
So I want to clarify 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
One is that no, basically nothing but the magpie could go through this hole. Like this is still like Avi access to a person door, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool. They're only coming from one direction. That's fine. Okay, I need to think about how I'm going to do this. All right. How big is the room? And how far is the ceiling hole from the door that they're breaching?
Oh, I just realized something. Dredge has level 2 harms. That should have been 1 fewer die. But not that it mattered with that roll, but something to keep in mind going forward. The room is... I mean, I don't have specific dimensions in mind. It's got consoles for like about a dozen people to be working at, and it's got like a stadium seating so that everyone can see the main screen at the front of the room. There are the entry doorways on either side. And there's sort of like an oversight station at the very back/top of the room.
Okay.
I think Dredge is on like the lowest level.
Okay. So, okay. So, my question then is, can I get an angle on the door, like trying to ceiling Cat's Night, basically?
Yeah, you could. Well, actually, I think this is a question for Sasha. Sasha, did you dig that tunnel in such a way that someone could like perch up there?
I think so. Yeah, it doesn't just like dump in there. You kind of there's a slope still.
Okay. So yeah, sure. You can get angle. But yeah, to be clear, they are coming in the room. It's not a matter of like
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I would like to... I'd like to take aim with Hugin. And I think what she's done here, and this hurts in a narrative sense, not I think in a mechanical sense, but like she's thrown herself to the ground on that slope, and she's not even like setting up the sniper rifle. She's just like, Hugin, position, and like Hugin like flies and puts itself, and she like wraps her arm around it.
Oh yeah, the dislocated arm.
Yep. And she's gonna light those fuckers up.
Okay. So you've got -2 dice and minus effect from your
Yep.
harm. Okay. So
That's a hunt. What's my position in effect?
um
Still a fine rifle.
yep. So you're gonna have limited effect. What is your position? I think your position is desperate, and the reason for that is not because you're in danger, but because they are very close to Dredge. And you can see, like, from your position now, you can see that Dredge is, like, missing half of an arm.
Okay, cool. So, this is what's gonna happen. I'm going to take my floating advance. I'm gonna take Survivor for one more stress box. Which means I have 2 stress boxes. I'm gonna push myself, I'm gonna take a collateral die. I'm gonna push myself for effect.
And that'll max out your stress, even with the extra
And I'm gonna
stress
declare my
box.
last load. My last load is going to be an additional thing of special ammunition, which is AP rounds.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so that'll put you at desperate standard. Your collateral die. Let's see. They know about the hole in the roof, and they just fire that grenade launcher right into the hole.
Okay. That is the wrong chat thingy to type that in. Okay, so that's 3d6 for desperate standard.
Yeah.
Right. Four. That's a success.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is.
Which,
With a consequence.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, since I'm pushing myself, hold up. Since I'm pushing myself on a attack at range, I can also suppress them. Though, but I believe the calculus is that this should finish the clock.
Yeah.
But okay,
Yeah.
so that's just additional. I think that's just fluff. Then is just I'm rapid firing.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think here's what happens. And Jess, if suspect you'll be okay with it, but if you are not, let me know. They start to come through the room. They come in the doorway. You drop the first one, and you're just unloading with Hugin's AP rounds. Their armor is doing nothing. It is as tissue paper to you. You're just poking holes in them. And the first one drops immediately. The second one comes in with the grenade launcher, puts a round into the ceiling hole. It goes off, and so you're from that. This is the collateral die harm. Okay, you take level 2 harm blasted,
which upgrades to level 3.
Yeah. And so you're knocked out of the hole, and you keep shooting at this doorway, just like dropping these guys. You've taken this fall, and you drop the guy with the grenade launcher. And as that person is like on the ground dying, they just like line up one last shot with the grenade launcher, and they hit you with it. And so, as this is a desperate position, you take level 3 harm exploded.
Wish you were here.
And so, because you already have the level 3 harm, it becomes level 4, which is fatal damage. Fatal harm.
If I might fluff this damage.
Absolutely.
So I think the blast like catapults her out of the hole, and I think she kind of lands like hard on her shoulder, still firing flat on the ground. And I think what happens is the grenade hits Hugin. Blows him up, very sad, beep boop. But also the blast travels along and blows off the arm she had reattached.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's how you leave her. Is she's on the floor, one arm, pool of blood, and she's y'all recognize. I think the audience recognizes, not necessarily the crew, but they recognize the expression she has when she's shooting. Is that like kind of like not quite a psycho grin, but that like comfortable, happy to be doing what she's best at grin. Showing some teeth, blood trickling down, all fucked up. But she dies as she lives. Scarecrow.
Yeah. And so that is the last of the Shadespeare squad, taken out by the last of a Shadespeare squad.
Poetry.
So, who has something they want to do? Tower, I think you can wake up at this point.
Yay! And then I like see all the fucking carnage, and I'm gonna go fucking back to bed. Bye. Night. No, I'm not. Okay, what the fuck do we do? Can I see? Is Dredge still near me? Can I see what just went down? What is Tower waking up to?
Tower, I think by all the explosions that have been going through this room, like got shoved around a bunch. And so I think they're sort of like pressed up against one of the upper tiers in the control room. You know, there's blood leaking from their back. There's a whole bunch of Shadespeare Black Ops corpses in the doorway, just with a bunch of holes in them. Dredge is, I think, leaned up against one of the control consoles in real bad shape. Actually, I think Dredge is in the best shape of any of you, which is saying something, considering Ko is missing an arm.
Yep.
I
mean, hey. least you're not flayed.
Yeah. Scarecrow is on the ground in pieces in a pool of blood. And there is no sign of Pitchfork.
I think Tower just sort of takes a breath. And I think just sits up, tries to lean against something, and then just like realizes that their back is all fucking jacked up, and that's probably not a great idea. And I want to consult y'all because I'm having a lot of trouble with this. I don't know what scar I should be taking. I'm leaning towards soft, but I feel like that's kind of the boring choice. I have it marked as tired right now. I really don't know. I want to consult y'all because I don't really know where to go with this.
Well...
I think there's an argument for haunted. He just
That's-
seems
yeah.
fucking shit.
I was... Yeah.
Yeah.
I worry about... I don't know. I worry about the implications of haunted and some of the tropes that go with haunted.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't... there is...
Yeah.
I mean, this is the last session. You don't have to worry too much about honestly portraying PTSD.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm still not sure. I think I'm gonna go with obsessed.
About what?
How they could have done stuff differently, how they could have gotten people back out safe later, how they can make the Cenotaph what it was if they get out of this.
Can I make a small suggestion?
Sure.
Is that we know the magpie could have fit into this room, which means the mantis could have as well.
Yeah.
And Tower specifically chose not to bring the mantis down here,
Yep.
and like that could have made a difference.
Yep.
So I think,
And Tower knows.
yeah, just wanted to give you that little vector.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. Obsessed with protecting the squad, somewhat.
Yeah.
Well, you could even call it overprotective.
I'll think about it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think they sort of pick themselves up and just sort of trudge their way over to Dredge and try and extend their hand and see if they can help get co-op.
Oh, good, you're awake.
Barely. Yeah, and I want to try and get us both standing and or like on wheelie chairs, maybe, just so we can like get around and just try and sorry. And just try and do the best we can to finish this. I think I radio up to Pitchfork, and I say, Scarecrow's down. We need you down here.
Working on it.
Okay. I want to see you. I want to make sure you're okay. And I think they just like, I think they asked Dredge, like, what do you need me to do?
not much left to do. I have it, so it's not pointing at anything in particular. It was pointed down here.
Fuck.
Yeah. So the next thing is to point it maybe up or something so that destroying it. We need to set charges. That's the next thing that needs to get done.
Yep.
And if we're not interrupted, which and looks at the door, which is open, and also the various Shadespeare who are scattered across the floor. Which, who knows? But hopefully we aren't then.
Speaking of interruptions,
Great.
You suck.
Pitchfork.
Oh, okay.
Are you like slowly walking Bert over to the hole down to the control room? Is that what's going on?
Bert's got a breakdown.
Oh yeah, Bert's removed from the scene because Bert is full up on quirks, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna push myself to get down.
You can like be working on your way getting over there. Just, there's a difference between like walking slowly and painfully and taking a prowl action, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So you're walking across the parking lot floor away from like Bert that is probably smoking from being overworked. And you hear the thump of AVs coming from the entrance of the parking lot. And you look back, and there's 4 arquebusiers that come hustling in. 2 of them are like running forward with their boosters turned on. 2 of them are facing like away from the entranceway, firing their Gatling guns at unseen foes out around the tower. One of them takes a hit from some kind of cannon and drops and slides down the ramp and like tries to get back up but can't. The other one just turns on its heel and uses its boosters to dash down the ramp. And the Repentant are here, as requested by Dredge.
Woohoo.
So they are like looking around, confused about like why they were called in so urgently. But
We dealt with it.
of any squad, they are the ones who would be able to find a hidden room. Because they are the ones who know about building stuff.
Architect squad, what's up?
Yeah. So, and of course, there is a big hole down to that hidden room. So,
It's not the hardest thing to find.
no. An Avi-sized hole? Pretty big. So, Pitchfork, what do you do?
I let out the largest groan I've ever let out in my life. I'm going to open up a line to fucking former senior Kid Arrow slide. I don't know what his name is now. I forget.
He doesn't
he's
have a
got
name.
now.
Oh god, that's right, Edgy.
He's an original the character.
Wait, what is he?
He doesn't have a name. He's just one of the repentant.
Oh, I
God.
thought he was the unnamed.
Oh.
Fucking edgy motherfucker.
I failed in my mission.
There, if you're looking for dredge goes down that tunnel. I could also probably use a lift.
Co made it sound very urgent that we get down there immediately. We will send a medic for you shortly. And they start moving with their arquebusiers towards that tunnel. Are you gonna let Dredge know that they're coming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you say?
Well, I don't know how much help this lot is gonna be, but some old acquaintances of ours are here.
Oh, they made it. Great. It's fucking right on time.
Yeah. As usual. Brimming with competence.
I'm I'm gonna radio the unnamed again and say, all right, well, it's not as urgent as it was, but if you could grab Pitchfork on your way down, I'd be much obliged.
What is down there that you needed our help with so urgently?
It's
the
a
most powerful weapon in possibly the planet. I don't know.
Just about.
Excellent. We'll be down there to secure it shortly.
No,
that's
you
not
won't.
the purpose of this mission, my dude.
But it would be a great boon to the Myriad.
It would destroy the planet.
The Myriad would know how to use it reasonably.
Can I?
They would
This
not.
isn't one of those. This is bury it and never speak of it again. This is not. You don't use this thing.
I can lie. Out of character, I can lie and say there was like a fault in its construction and we need to destroy it.
Yeah, if you wanna lie to them and tell them to fuck off.
Just tell them to hold the fucking... Like, tell them to hold the fucking...
As a reminder, they are a squad called the Repentant. They are looking to get back in the Myriad's good graces.
Yeah. Look, we're handling it, we're securing it, we're doing everything we can. But we can't do that if there are more people that come busting in here. Just hold down the fort while we handle this. What is that?
That's not even a lie.
No, it's not.
What do you want to roll?
I mean, I've got -2 dice. -2 effect.
And you have to push yourself to even act.
Yeah. So, is it even worth it?
That's your call.
I mean, I think the best thing to do is just bust it before they get in here. Like, I don't even think it'll take them a while to get down here. I think the best thing to do is just fuck it up real bad before they get down here. Because I don't see a way that...
Also, if you want a grenade launcher, there's one lying around.
Yeah, they're,
We
like,
fuck it up.
they had grenades. We can just fuck it up. They had, like, slime grenades as well.
Sure did.
So,
Yeah.
like, I don't even think it's worth convincing them not to come down here, because I'm not going to be able to do it.
You know, I have one stress left, and
I'll
I'm happy to use that as an assist for you as we.
No, I'll
load this up.
assist you. I
Okay.
have a full empty stress bar.
Bullshit.
You're
Even better.
basically a stress battery right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
You.
Yeah, because
Also-
it all cleared.
Also, I took Saboteur, so if you use place explosives instead of wrecking tools, the work is not any quieter, but you get 1+1 die to the action, so
Yeah, so I'll assist.
sweet.
So take improved effect.
Yeah.
Okay. So my understanding here is that you're just gonna blow up the command center.
Yeah.
Direct it away from anything that could potentially be harmful and just blow it the fuck up.
So basically, this is going to be desperate great.
Okay. Do you want... No, I can't give you improved positioning. Do you want improved positioning or improved effect? If it's already going to be great, just...
If it's already going to be great,
Yeah.
then improved position would be great.
Yeah, just-
it would be.
Okay.
Um,
So then risky great?
Yep.
Yeah.
How are you assisting Tower?
I mean, I think it's what I usually do. I think it's a lot of taking instruction and setting things up and pressing the right buttons at the right times when Dredge tells me to.
So just being an extra set of hands?
Did Ray just get really quiet just for me, or did that...
No.
Yeah.
Yep. No, Ray is
Can't hear you.
muted weirdly.
No sound, Ray. Oh,
What the
there you
fuck?
go. Yep. There
Okay,
you
you're
go.
back.
What the fuck?
You're
Am I
good.
back?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're back.
Am I back?
you're back.
You're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my computer just got fucky.
I think when you raised your voice, you like went over a noise threshold or something.
Yeah, you probably that's what the
Sorry.
It's fine.
Did y'all hear? Like, I'm being an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. Okay. So spend your stress. You're providing the improved position.
Yeah.
All right, Dredge. What are you rolling?
I'm rolling a wreck, which is 1 die, and I get that die back with with Saboteur, and I'm considering.
You've also got -1 die from your harm.
No, that's what I counted.
Oh, okay.
Can I
And-
assist twice?
No.
No. Aw. There's so much stress to burn.
And I don't quite have enough load left. I've spent 5 load, so I can't grab demolition tools, but I can find engineering tools to unscrew some plating and.
Well, if you need me to mark the placed explosives, I can give them to you.
Well, I have those. Is the thing.
Okay. You've already got them marked?
Mhm.
Okay.
I just want to declare find engineering tools is like, as Dredge literally opens up these like computer towers and sticks like the placed explosives directly on the stuff itself.
Okay.
To get, I think, another die.
Also,
Yeah.
just as like a detail, because like it's moldable explosives, you can like use just enough explosives on each one. You don't have to like be like, here's a brick.
Yeah.
Had the mental image of like silly string but explosive putty.
Basically.
So that's
Just Batman.
yeah.
Yeah.
Risky. What was it?
Great.
Risky. Great. All right.
1 die.
2 dice.
2 dice?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
That's what I'm hoping. Fine engineering tools is doing.
No, those would give you improved effect. This.
Oh, would it?
Yeah. I thought you got your extra die from. Oh no, you're just rolling 1 die, aren't you? Because you've got 1 wreck. And then.
I mean, if you're willing to take a desperate position, I can give you the extra die instead.
That's
Yeah.
where the extra die is going to come from, unless you want a collateral die.
No, I'll take the desperate position. Because yeah, I can resist it. I have enough to resist it, so. I'm okay with this being the last thing that I do. All right. One more time from the start. Wreck is
Once more with feeling.
desperate, standard, great.
If you're taking the extra die from tower, it'll be desperate great.
Okay, cool.
Arc XP.
2 dice. That's a 4.
That's a 4.
Success.
I can
Yeah.
resist something on your behalf.
You have to
I
take
guess
you
that's-
have to take the harm for that to happen. Okay. So here's
I can take it.
chance.
here's what it is. You are like you've cleared the coordinates from the computer you've got the explosives. Like, you're just finishing up putting the last of the explosives. You can hear the stomping of the arquebusiers coming down. And, like, one of them pokes, like, opens its cockpit. And there's arrows slide pointing... Actually, no, here's what happens. It gets down and, like, you can hear it scraping along the inside of the tunnel. And then the arquebusier does something which you saw, well, not Dredge didn't see before, but Pitchfork and Tower did ages ago in the Bird and Safe House. It ejects its armor so that it can be smaller. And then it drops through the hole into the control room. And so you can actually see Arrow slide there in, like, the cockpit. And he points the dual Gatling guns at the two of you and says, "Get away from the computers now! I don't trust you two." And so this is the choice. Do you activate the explosives before they have a chance to do anything about it, but you're still close to them? Or do you try and get away and he opens up with the Gatling guns?
I would like to declare a flashback or something.
What?
Or
Do you
something.
do you even have stress for that?
I have 3 left to spend.
What is your planned flashback?
Basically to have, like, clung onto the leg of one of these for dear life with the anti-armor weapon strapped to my back. And I'm gonna fucking shoot him.
Okay. So I think what this actually is you taking the harm and then trying to resist it, right? So spend the one
Sure.
stress to be in the position to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this is probably prowess, right? Because you are, like, blowing out his cockpit before he has the chance to unload on Dredge and Tower.
We got 4 in prowess, so
I do have that. I
But
sure-
only 2 stress and
Well,
3
4 is pretty
scars.
good.
A 5 or better. That's a 1 in 3 chance.
Ha!
Hey!
That's a 6.
So good.
Ah.
Fucking tough bitch.
Hell yeah!
Okay. So, yeah, you blow out the back of the cockpit. And because of the fact that, like, the way protection works, right, is that you choose to take the harm on the other person's behalf in some way, and then you resist it. So you blow out the cockpit, and it is going to be reduced to level 1 harm as the cockpit falls backwards onto you, Pitchfork. Or the AV, the Arquebusier, even though it has discarded its armor to become a light AV, is still, like, multitudinous tons of weight. And it falls backwards onto you. What happens?
God, fuck. Is that it? Shit.
The dangers of deciding the meat is cheap.
Yeah, well,
Can I resist that?
Can I resist that?
No, because Pitchfork pulled the danger off of Dredge
Can I resist
onto
that?
herself. You can't.
Can I
This is
resist-
not ping pong.
It could be.
You've already wasted all your armor, haven't you?
oh yeah, I used 5 load for armor.
I worked
I mean,
so hard to keep your
technically-
ass alive! And you try
Technically,
and
I
die
can't really-
heroically? That's my thing!
That's the thing. Would that have counted as an ambush? His thing?
He wasn't ambushing you, right? Like this is.
Right. But it was still ambushing them. I don't know.
Was still an ambush.
Yeah. Okay, I'll allow that.
Fucking hanging on by a thread.
So, what does that look like?
I think it's you see the anti-armor weapon propped up and the like armor plate like on top of it and Pitchfork wedged between it and the ground. Just barely alive.
Oof. Okay, and that's your special armor spent.
That's it. That's yeah.
Okay. So, Dredge Tower.
Dredge is gonna loop an arm around Tower and make her way sort of like scaling what remains of the actually I could fucking get in the magpie. That shit's still operating.
No, I mean, well, it's got
It'd
a
be-
dire. No, you used the dire action.
Did I? I did.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Sorry.
It's like smoking and blown apart, literally blown in half.
Operational.
Is it like an earthworm?
I mean, you know, based on the evidence.
Probably. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Meet Magpie and Magpie Jr.
We're gonna at least use what remains of it to scale back up. Well, actually, we could take the elevator. Come to think of it, because the door's open
yeah,
and there was an elevator.
yeah.
I'm assuming we activate the explosives, right?
Oh, we're doing that 100% for sure. We just need to get into an elevator first.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're bringing.
Point out the body in the room.
Yeah. No, I had wanted to say.
So, who's carrying Pitchfork and who's carrying Scarecrow? If anyone is scooping her up.
I am at least gonna grab her dog tag.
Is one of the you had 2 guns, 2 drones, right?
Nope, one drone, but I also had a fine machine pistol.
Okay. And the drone was destroyed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Bummer. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't an explicit consequence. If you want to use Hugin for something, I'd say
Well-
maybe the rifle is destroyed in Hugin's.
I mean, Jess, you narrated it as the grenade
Yeah,
hitting
that's-
Hugin and blowing Hugin up.
This is true. This is true.
Oh, unless Hugin is just like a really buff robot.
No.
No, there's an upgrade for that. Yeah, okay. So,
I'm carrying all of you assholes out with me with my one arm. We are going home.
I think if I might make a suggestion here, I think you shoulder everyone else into the elevator, but Scarecrow you drag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a trail of blood to the elevator.
Just yeah, get as much of you as I can.
I think all the while you're doing this, moving them to the elevator, there's like the other AVs, the other repentant AVs in the tunnel, and they're trying to get past, but having seen what happened to their leader's AV, they're unwilling to eject their armor. And so because of that, they can't get past the Karasu or the Arquebusier that are like both obscuring the entrance to the tunnel at this point.
I'm gonna radio. You're gonna want to back up, and we're gonna get in the elevator, and then about, let's see, we'll get to the top, and then I'll set off the charge.
Okay. No need to roll for that. You already succeeded. And, well, with a partial success. So yeah, there's just like a muffled boom, 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 as all the charges go off deep underground. Most of the sound coming out from the tunnel that you dug down to the control center. And the Sovereignty Engine's control room is no more. Mission completed.
In the elevator, as we're going up, there's a lot of very tense, awful silence, and Dredge says, "We should get out of town."
Yeah.
Going.
If only we had saved that squad upgrade for mobile operating base.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have enough end of session next speeds or just?
Well, I think we are mostly going to skip the mission completed process and the end of session stuff since this is the end of the campaign. But yeah. So everyone think about your epilogues if you haven't already. And let's have a look at everyone's stash.
Oh no.
So, who has been saving for retirement?
Kind of.
Let's see. So,
God.
Tower does not have a full line of stash.
I don't think any of us do.
I do.
Except Pitchfork.
Dredge has no stash, period.
God.
What about Scarecrow? Scarecrow has no stash, just pocket change.
Scarecrow's also dead.
Yeah, I know, but I thought maybe you might have a will that stash could go to someone.
I mean, hey, I'll take it and then like get at least a full line.
You can have my pocket change.
Did you write it in your
Just
will?
rifle through her pockets. She's on the fucking elevator floor.
God.
Yeah.
Just like fence your armor or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, here's some guidelines for your savings. If you have 0 to 10, which is to say everyone but Pitchfork, here is what you got. You are destitute. You are likely homeless. You are, assuming you aren't in a worse spot, you're probably moving from shelter to shelter, surviving miserably. If you are in Pitchfork's position, you are poor. A small rented room and decadences like eating regularly are yours to the end. So, I mean, if you want to stay in the military and keep working for the Cenotaph, that probably covers your shelter, and you can keep on fighting the good fight. But Dredge, considering the fuckery that you pulled with the Breath of Faith, I think you're gonna have to take that into account with your epilogue. So, who has a place they want to start? And this includes you, Jess, if you have some final thoughts on Scarecrow.
I do have some final thoughts. I just need to figure out a couple things really quickly, and also I will need input from other people, so I'd like to go last, I think.
That's fair. It's always good to end on a gravestone. So, who has some ideas?
I have an idea. I think Tower goes back to the church. And I think they, probably with the blessing of Dredge, because this was core pet project, knock the celestial myriad insignias out of the stained glass in the windows. And I think they're gonna ask for Dredge's help with this, because I don't think they want any of us to have to end up destitute. Like, I think they're going to do as much as they can to avoid that. But I think potentially the idea I had was that we would spend sort of whatever, in mechanical terms, whatever XP we got from this, which I'm sure there would be enough to level us, and get that mobile base thing. And maybe it's not the church, maybe it's like, I don't know, our mech barn or whatever, but I think Tower is going to try and establish some kind of home base for what's left of the Cenotaph.
So are you taking the squad independent then? Is
Yeah.
that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm giving a big fuck off to the Celestial Myriad. I think I find Alice and extend the offer of, you don't have to accept it, but if you ever want to stop doing so much fighting, there's a place for you if you want it.
Thanks. I'll probably drop by. I don't know if I'll stay, but
It'll be good to see you outside of
yeah,
present circumstances.
I'll see what you got going on. Might hit up the circus, but I suspect they maybe don't want me anymore.
Yeah. Never been particularly forgiving for former members.
I'll see you around, Tower.
We'll see you. Try not to get killed out there.
Hasn't worked yet. And so I think she probably gets onto a motorcycle, like a dirt bike, and rides off to
Into the sunset.
yeah. We can come back to Tower if you have more thoughts later, Ray. But Dredge, are you able to assist with setting this up, or are you otherwise occupied by a court-martial, as you had previously thought might occur?
I mean, yeah, Dredge would help, assuming that, Ko doesn't come back to the Cenotaph to find a bunch of fucking military police waiting for Ko. And that's kind of a strong assumption.
If I might make an argument,
Sure.
I think perhaps there are repercussions and you're in very poor standing and that's part of why you get out, but I think you could draw it out and make the argument and tie it up in the argument that the location was not secure and that especially because the repentant were getting their asses whooped on their way in,
And
that it was the best way to secure the situation was to destroy equipment before the enemy could resecure it.
also, worst comes to worst, Tower's been on the run before. They can always hide people and figure things out
It's
until things blow over.
it's more than just the primary control room of the Sovereignty Engine, though, right? Y'all remember what Dredge has done?
Yeah, Dredge
Oh, yeah. Fair,
sabotaged
fair.
the plans in a really obvious way.
And also smashed all the servers personally in the Twinler and Red headquarters.
Yeah.
So even if the Breath of Faith doesn't have it out for you, Tusser certainly does. And the March of Saints are tier 5.
They sure are.
Yep.
So what happens to Dredge?
I would love to stay. I really, really, really would. I think.
Oh,
Mm.
sorry, I just had a thought. Dredge, you actually get a poor savings.
Do I?
Yeah. You get an inheritance.
From who?
Dr. Cyanopoulos.
Fuck off! Jesus. Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. Yeah, I can't stay. Hmm.
Go ahead.
Like when that happens, when that comes through, I think Pitchfork tries to convince you to go with them, with Doctors Beyond Stars. Because literally one of my beliefs is that Ko should have gone with Doctors Beyond Stars.
I think there's probably also an invite alongside what you receive.
It's a medical unit. They help.
There's a recording from Dr. Cyanopoulos. I won't go into the details of it, but it is a goodbye. And it's a acknowledgement is not the right word. She says she is proud of you for your efforts to try and lessen the horrors of the war. First, both with the doctors, and then with the Cenotaph. And she says that she's made sure that people know that there's always a spot for you with the doctors.
Well, I think, you know, there's definitely there's a clock ticking as to when the various members of the Myriad who I've upset very badly track me down and throw me in a military prison if they don't kill me on sight. But I think between now and then, I'm gonna do as much good as I can in the time that I have. So, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Doctors Beyond Stars and I think before I ship off, I give Tower a big hug and I say that, like, you're gonna be fine.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try and, you know, I'm gonna do my best to make this what we were always trying to have it be.
You're gonna do so much better than I ever did. And
Can't do worse than Demon.
yeah, really. And to Pitchfork, I'm like, you know, I hear the beaches are really nice this time of year. Take some time, get some sun, yeah?
You know, you might be right. Yeah. Go take a good long look at space for me, will you?
There's a lot of it. It's gonna take some time to look at all of it, but I'll take it.
I'm glad you were here.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, and and Dredge will certainly offer a hug, and be like, "Take care of yourself."
Very gingerly. With
Yeah,
your bruised ribs.
yeah.
Broken ribs. And I think she says keep in touch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, Tower, you said you mentioned something to me in chat.
Yeah. I think we can like make this a canonical thing in a way that doesn't make it like, you know, Towers looting the bodies of the dead or whatever. But Jess did give me her blessing to take Riza's pocket change. And that
Listen,
gets me up to poor.
we did write some wills before this started.
Yeah.
That is
so
true.
Clarissa did not, but I think she gave the general vibe that she was, dare I say, each according to their ability.
Yeah, if it's possible to bury Riza before I have to fucking leave town, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Y'all didn't bring that up. I was, because that's my epilogue. I'm gonna ask you all about the funeral.
Is that the last scene we get?
Well, we still gotta get what's going on with Pitchfork.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that she ever wanted to do was like not have to go back out. So she's just gonna hang around in Hollington if that's possible.
Yeah.
And go back to what she was doing before.
Yeah.
That's why you were so insistent to keep Bert from taking any damage.
Hey, we've only
Right
got
now,
one
body.
around. We need
Not
this
truck.
one. We can't have it be fucking busted. How are we gonna fucking harvest the next year without a fucking mech?
I stole a
Jesus.
truck a couple of missions back. You can have that.
Ugh.
Did you ever pay that off?
No, I didn't. It's a half-finished long-term project I've got sitting.
Yeah. I think like Layla joins you on your farm, Pitchfork. You know? And I think so do a bunch of the other rubble runts. Because you purposefully work to get them out and get them into Hollington. And so you've got this farm being run by a bunch of war orphans. Oh god, it's just iron-blooded orphans. That's stumbled ass backwards into Gundam. Who knew?
I think like I have like a little add-on, which is that at some point implied like after all of that has like happened, after you see her with the rubble runs and like playing and like tilling crops and shit, her comms light up like in a drawer or something, like gathering dust, and it's from Lady Elreth.
I like it.
Do Pitchfork and Layla become a couple?
I don't. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. God.
Do they have a kid together?
Huh.
Future tech.
I mean,
Or, you know, you could adopt a runt.
they've also just got,
Look,
you know,
they've already
Yeah, I
got
mean,
the
you could have,
runs.
like, an
They
extended
have, like-
family
You are
already.
surrounded by
You have
orphans.
like 25 new children. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
it's kind of a 101 Dalmatians situation, isn't it?
A war orphan plantation.
Wow, sounds real bad when you put it like that.
not that one.
Okay, so Pitchfork has a hard working life on a farm with Layla, and their dozens of children of varying ages.
God.
It's the gay dream.
Tower scoops up the do you make a new squad, Tower? Like, do you find other people? Like, I think eventually probably Alice does join you, but do you find other misfits to go and...
Yeah, I think it's slow going. I think there is about a year or two where it's just... I think there's about a year where it's just Tower. And then I think Alice comes calling and they have a long talk.
I think she probably, like, drops in occasionally, and those visits get more frequent as time goes on. And then
Yeah.
eventually she just stops leaving.
Yeah. I think, you know, things aren't back to the way they were between the two, but they're friends. And I think over like a couple of years, Tower starts accumulating people. I think maybe with Pitchfork's blessing, of course. They a couple of the kids from the runts end up not joining up, but sometimes coming in and, you know, helping out with stuff. Just like trading food for, you know, assistance and stuff like that. You know, unclaimed bodies are good fertilizer. Hey!
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think we're happy about it, but I don't think we really could have stopped them either. So
Yeah.
Didn't realize the whole farm was goth.
No, just like a small patch. It's the mushroom growing bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just like, I think eventually, they sort of accumulate a consistent squad. I think it's, you know, it's rough because they're independent, but there's a group of like 4 or 5 of us, and it works.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have anything else to add before we get to Scarecrow's funeral? Or is this like the three of you, I was gonna say meeting up on like some anniversary, but I realized Dredge has fucked off to space for the best.
Co-Skype.
I think I want to see the funeral, because here's my revenge. I get to bully y'all into saying eulogies.
Okay, so yeah, what's this funeral look like?
Where would you? It's probably on.
Checkmate, bitches.
It's probably in the grounds. And there's a mechanical thing I would like to do, which is that I have 3 beliefs with Riza, and I'm going to ask a question that will never get answered, which is, why did you come back?
Graves don't talk.
They sure don't.
Yeah. I think there's like, because it's on the chapel grounds, there's a bunch of proxies in attendance who, of course, don't quite understand what's going on, but they understand, like, this is something to be watched and not interfered with. And someone with a close eye can definitely see Claire in the crowd. And I think Claire's probably standing next to whatever Reese's new proxy was. The one that she gave the final message for Pitchfork to.
It's just Scarecrow. It's just it's basically Eileen the Crow.
God, so Scarecrow attends her own funeral. She's in the crowd of the proxies, standing next to her younger sister.
Which is also her.
Just a bunch of ghosts in attendance. Anyone have anything else to add to this scene?
Dredge just does the rites. I don't know specifically what those are, but Dredge would. And since we were both Jovangellians, Dredge also has personal experience doing these. Back when there was a section of the Jovangellians that Code called home. So yeah.
Okay. Pitchfork, you get a message from Scarecrow.
I wanted to add. Oh, what? Okay, I'll hear it.
Yeah. It just says, it's a recording of her voice, and she says, "Sorry about Hannah."
I think at the funeral I say, and here you were telling me not to die. And I think after, because she's, close, and because she used to take care of the graveyard with Harrow, she helps out a bit with Pitchfork helps out with keeping the graveyard clean, and also brings flowers or whatever that she picks up when she goes on her morning hikes or whatever, and leaves them on Scarecrow's grave.
Do you set up the graves as a garden, do you think?
Yeah, it probably takes a really long time for that to happen, but yeah, just every now and then something new gets added.
Tower, you got anything to add to the funeral?
I don't think so. I think Tower stands and with the group, and I think after the funeral, a couple of days after, I think they go out and they sit by the headstone and just say, I know you meant well. Thank you for that.
So, what is everyone's beliefs about Scarecrow at the end here?
Riza is clearly competent and fully opaque. I trust her as far as I can throw her. Riza is not a lost cause. There is still a chance for her to find peace if she wants it. And Riza has lost everyone like I have, but that doesn't make her family.
God, I don't remember that last one. That's brutal.
Oh. Tower, what are your Scarecrow beliefs?
Mine are Riza is new and nice, but nice is different than good. And Riza came in to replace Harrow, but she's only continuing his legacy.
And Pitchfork?
Riza's competent, but I don't want to be her.
All right.
I think you managed.
Just barely.
So, unless anyone has anything else to
I
add.
have one last addenda.
All right.
And I think this is with Tower's help, and I think this involves talking with both the proxies and figuring some stuff out. Because the other thing you found on the body was a set of 7 dog tags.
Yeah.
And a package arrives on Harlan Smythe's desk a couple weeks later. I think the week after the funeral. And it's just those 7 dog tags. 4410 Alpha Gamma, Taylor Banshee Seville. 4426 Lambda Delta, Johann Dutch Blackwell. 4498 Aota Nu, May Jaeger Caden. 4499 Aota Nu, Preacher Caden. 4513 Sigma Tau, Magnus Ironsight Styrane. 4538 Alpha Sigma, Clarissa Scarecrow Hagden. 4601 Alpha Sigma, Harlan Macbeth Smythe.
All right. So, and that is Beam Saber the Cenotaph. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us on this farewell adventure. We will be back again either next week or the week after for the post-mortem of the campaign. If you have questions or thoughts about how the campaign went, or about the development of Beam Saber, any questions at all for myself or the players, send them to beamsaberrpg@gmail.com, and we will answer them and discuss them as part of the stream. Also joining us for the stream will be Cassandra, who played Harrow Demon Grey in the first season of Beam Saber the Cenotaph. So you can even ask questions about what happened with the early parts of the campaign that she was involved with. But until then, I'm Austin Ramsey. I am the creator of Beam Saber, which you can find at austin-ramsey.itch.io/beamsaber. You can find me on Twitter at NotAnIn. I've been your host and GM for this campaign, and I have been joined this evening by Sasha.
Hey, I've been Sasha. I've also been Seed Dredge Bellevue, the technician. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_Renell. You can find my game dev stuff at tcabbage, and it has been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Also with us this campaign has been Takuma.
Hi, I'm Takuma, and I have played Keiko Pitchfork Tuesday, a Johnny Ryden XP. And if you like sad mech stuff, I have some games about that at nerdhome.itch.io and on Twitter. I talk about that stuff sometimes at taco_okada_. There will be more sad mech times to come because I'm on another podcast with mechs and sadness.
Do you want to plug that?
It's I don't know when we're actually releasing, but it's called Whispers in the Shade, and the first season is a playtest of my friend Bren's PBTA game about other selves,
Oh, I didn't know they were writing.
inspired by Persona and Gundam and JoJo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
And
Sounds
I
like
am
exactly
piloting-
my jam.
I'm piloting one of the bear guys from Gundam.
All right. Thank you so much for being a part of this campaign. Also joining us for this campaign, at least the second season, has been Jess.
Hi guys, I'm Jess. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Quasinum, and you can also follow my podcast, The Movie Morgue, at it's The Movie Morgue. You can find it Movie Morguecast on Twitch, on Twitter, The Movie Morgue on iTunes and wherever else you find stuff. Moviemorgue.simplecast.com. There we go. Okay. But yes, I have been 4538 Alpha Sigma, Clarissa Scarecrow Hagden.
Thank you so much. And last but never least, we have joining us for this campaign, Ray.
Hi, I've been Ray. I have also been Tower Reach, the Infiltrator and Disaster Gay. You can find me on Twitter at RayRayTheGayGay, or on itch at rayinthefog.itch.io. And I'm very proud of all of us.
Yes. Well done, everyone. And so, I leave you all with one last message for this campaign. Please remember to fight the war and not the soldiers. See you for the post-mortem.